Hey guys, welcome back. In the previous videos, we've discussed all about file handling, file manipulation, and how you can perform different operations in a file and how to handle a file carefully. Right, so we just discussed a lot about file handling and we've covered a lot of topics so far. And since we're discussing Python as a language, we're going to go ahead and discuss some important Python concepts and some important things that are some important or easy convenient sort of functions that are available to us in Python, such as built-in functions such as we use these names equals to main, and today we'll be using something similar but which is a lambda function. So a lambda function is basically an anonymous function. Now what do you know by anonymous? Anonymous is basically someone who does not have a name. Like if you say it was an anonymous person, it was an unknown person, you cannot put a name to that person. Similarly, when we talk about lambda functions, we're talking about anonymous one-line functions that are used to basically make our work simple. If we consider a normal function, such as a normal function that is supposed to return us the value of a variable, right? And we'll have to say print some, let's just say we want to give a value 5, right? It's supposed to return us this the sum of these two numbers, right? Like 5 plus 2, 7. And it's like a 3-line code. It's a quite simple code, but what if you have multiple codes, multiple simple expressions such as this one, right? And how do you make this work easy for you? So for that very purpose, we use a lambda function, and it is supposed to just make our work very easy. So you can literally write it in a whole line, such as y is equals to lambda, right? Lambda x, and then you can say x plus 2, and then you can simply just print by 5, right? So instead of just doing this whole thing in these 3 lines, you can also simply do this in one line where you can just print lambda x. But no, okay, you'll have to give it some sort of variable, but some sort of value. But let's just see how that works. And yeah, it's supposed to make our work very easy and simple. And instead of writing this, and it's very convenient when you have a lot of simple functions or a lot of simple small expressions that you need to find out. So and instead of just computing all of them, you can putting all of them in a function, you can just put them in this single expression and you can get your work done quite. So we've discussed how lambda works when we have only one variable, but does it allow us to work with more than one variable? And let's find out. What if, let's consider, for example, we have another, we want to find the square of a number as well, square lambda x into x, right? And let's just say we want to find the average of two numbers as well. So what will we do? Lambda x comma, let's just say x and z, because we've already put y above, and the formula of average. And let's just say we are doing the same for all average 5, and let's just say the value of x is 5 and the value of z is 10, right? So you see, now instead of putting all of these in 3 different functions, which would be 3 multiplied by 3, 3 lines, we've just done this entire work in 6 lines. So that's code optimization at its best, and at the same time it's just making your work simple. And see, 7 to 25 and then 2.5, right? And in this way you can just work with many multiple variables as well. And when you need to use a lot of variables to make your work easy for you, you can just use this to make your life easy. You can use this anonymous one-liner functions to make your programs more simple. And when you have a lot of expressions to deal with, um, We can say, for example, you're compiling a sheet of, a sheet where you need the sum of the previous number to be added with the new and current, and then you need it to be multiplied. So instead of defining functions for it, you can just use this anonymous function where you don't really need to put a name into it. One thing I wanted to try was if the lambda function works. No, I don't think that would work. But anyways, with that being said, we're done with understanding how to use a lambda function in Python, and I'll see you in the next video.